It was a gloomy Sunday morning when someone knocked on my door. I wasn't expecting company, but curiosity won over hesitation. I opened the door with a half-full coffee mug in hand. There stood a stranger, tall, overly self-assured, and wearing a smirk that felt more like a challenge than a smile. He didn't bother introducing himself or asking who I was. Instead, he leaned against the frame, casually glancing around as if he owned the place, then said, "So you're the guy she left behind?" For a second, I was confused. Then realization hit. He was talking about Mia, my ex, the one who had disappeared 3 months ago without so much as a goodbye. "You mean Mia?" I asked, keeping my tone steady. He chuckled smugly. "Of course. She figured you'd still be hanging around here moping. Looks like she was right." His words were crafted to provoke, but I kept my composure. I took another sip of coffee and matched his relaxed posture, leaning against the door frame myself. "And you are?" He straightened slightly, as if preparing to deliver a grand introduction. "I'm the man she really wanted. The one she came back to. I just thought I'd do you a favor and clear things up. Give you some closure." I almost laughed, not because he was amusing, but because of how convinced he was of his own delusion. Mia hadn't gone back to someone else. She had run, from accountability, from consequences, from truth. That was her pattern. "Well," I said calmly, "very thoughtful of you. Traveling all this way just to insult someone you don't even know. Real classy." He didn't flinch. "She told me how clingy you were. How you begged her not to go. It's kind of pathetic, man." I nodded slowly, more to stop myself from laughing than to agree. "Right. And she told you that after disappearing in the dead of night without saying a word, did she?" There was a flicker of hesitation on his face, a crack in that smug armor. I stepped a bit closer, closing the distance between us. "She didn't tell you everything, did she?" He narrowed his eyes. "What are you talking about?" "I mean," I said evenly, "she didn't just walk out. She left behind a storm I had to weather. Unpaid bills, a lease under both our names, and a trail of lies that I had to explain to her family, my family too. She didn't run back to you. She ran from the mess she made." His confident posture wilted slightly. Doubt crept into his expression. I could see it. "She said you were manipulative and controlling. That she had to get away," he said, though his voice lacked the earlier bite. "Escape," I echoed, shaking my head. "That's rich. Did she also tell you who bailed her out of debt? Who stood by her when she lost her job and couldn't face her parents? Who stayed awake for nights when her mother was sick in the hospital?" He looked down for a second, shifting awkwardly. His swagger was slipping fast. But I didn't yell. I didn't get angry. I just gave him the truth, plain and steady. "She skipped those parts, didn't she? Because they don't fit her narrative." He crossed his arms, defensive now. "She said you'd make yourself out to be the victim." "No," I corrected him. "I'm not the victim. I'm the guy she used. And you? You're just the next name on her list." That hit its mark. His jaw clenched. The certainty in his eyes was being replaced by something else, something much closer to fear. "She's with me now," he said, trying to reclaim the upper hand. "For now," I replied. "Until things get difficult. Until she gets bored. Until life requires her to take responsibility. Then you'll find yourself here, just like me, wondering how someone you trusted could turn everything upside down." He didn't speak. That smug expression had completely vanished, replaced with the kind of silence that only comes when the truth settles deep. "I'm not bitter," I added. "I'm free. She did me a favor when she left. And if you're going to show up on someone's doorstep to throw stones, you'd better know the full story." He looked at me for a moment longer, then looked away. It was like he'd just stared into a mirror he didn't want to face. "I should go," he muttered. I nodded once. Probably wise. He turned around and walked back to his car, much slower than he'd arrived. I closed the door behind him, put my coffee down, and sat in silence for a few moments. I wasn't surprised he had come. Mia had always been good at spinning her own version of reality, especially when she wanted to keep someone hooked. He was just her latest listener, another chapter in her story of blame and escape. What neither of them realized, what he certainly didn't expect, was that I had stopped waiting for answers long ago. The day she walked out, she unknowingly gave me something better than closure. Freedom. I had healed. I had rebuilt. I had grown stronger. She hadn't. He thought he'd be confronting a man left in ruins. Instead, he found someone standing firmly in truth. I never needed revenge. Truth has a way of balancing the scales all on its own. And now so would he.